Alright, so this is now being recorded, and I am going to share my screen. You'll probably all see your faces on my screen and then a strange sort of infinite perspective thing going on for just a moment. Alright, I've asked it to share the screen. Seems a little slow, but it seems to be doing it. All right, so if you're able to see my screen, give me a thumbs up. All right, so I am right now at the Stanford Club of Utah alumni website, and if we go to just our group home, we see the basic information about our club and also the upcoming events. And just real quick, I'm going to go back here to our appear in meeting. So if you're all able to hear me, just say yes or go like that. All right, excellent. Cool. All right, so I will go back to our whoa, crazy. There we go. Okay, so the main page for our group, the most important part of it is usually these upcoming events, although you're able to see newest group members here. Also over to the right, you'll be able to see picture albums from previous events that we've done. However, unfortunately, they are ordered according to the date that they were created, and they're ordered from the oldest one on down, so you can only see the first two that you created without hitting view all. I've asked them for a functionality that would allow you to have the two newest ones available there, and they told me they were working on that, and that was about 2 years ago, so I think they're still working on that. But if we go to the events tab here, this is where you would usually do your events creation. And as I mentioned, I am right now no longer an admin for this group, so I am not able to do event creation, but I will go over the creation of an event on Facebook, and the creation of an event on our page is similar. All right, so if you go, but this is kind of the main source for finding out about events that we're planning, and also for registering for those events. So that's the kind of the main home for the event and the event information. It's the page to which I tend to link the Facebook invitation. But also if you go to Facebook, we have a Stanford Club of Utah Facebook group that I would encourage you all to join if you are not already a member but are on Facebook. And it doesn't have to just be board members. Any member of the club should join this. And so I think communication and probably attendance at events would be improved if we were able to get more people to join the group. All right, so here is the page for our Facebook group. As you can see, we have about 40 members. And if we want to create an event, if we go to events here, the very top, you'll see this option to create event. So if we go in here, if we hit create event, sorry this is slow, I'm not sure what's going on, but what you do is you just add an event name. So I would say, let's create an event that's called how to create an event. And the location will be a webinar. And it's today, and we'll say that we'll say that it starts at 10:30. So if you click on the clock, you can modify that. You can also modify the date, and if you want to put in an end time, you're able to do so. And then we can just type in a description. So we would say this is an event about planning and putting events together. And then you can, if you want to, you can add an end time. So why don't we say the end time for this is going to be 11 a.m. And then for the event photo, I usually try and find some photo online that would work. So let's go with just our Stanford Club of Utah logo. You can drag to reposition that. It's usually kind of fun to try and find a cool photo that will work for the event. I probably shouldn't say this on a recording, but I usually just grab whatever photo looks cool. Alright, so I just do a Google search and grab whatever image looks cool and appropriate. So if we say create now, it will create in just a second, because things are for some reason very slow at the time. So it's got a problem with the okay, it's got a problem with the end time. It's switched to after the start time. Well, I do believe that 11 a.m. is in fact after the start time. So I don't know why it's not letting me put in 11, but I'm going to go with just 1 p.m. So I'm going to see if I can change that. It won't go to 1 p.m. though, don't worry. Now if we create that, and we wait for a second. We now have this event, and if you go to the Stanford Club of Utah homepage, I think you can get to not just by clicking right there. No, don't show me the picture. Again, I'm sorry this is so slow. I think it's probably that we're all here on a video conference and my computer is having trouble handling that, which makes me rethink the wisdom of using this particular video conferencing software. But as you can see, this event has been created on our Facebook page. All right, so usually, as I said, I would have a link to these events on our main Alumni Association website, which tends to be the primary source for an event. If we want to take a look at a particular event, if we open up the Stanford versus Utah tailgate, which will probably be the most well-attended event that we've had in at least 3 years, if not ever. The last tailgate that we had for a Stanford versus Utah football game in Utah, we had over 100 people attend, which is the most we've ever had for any event. But you can see it's relatively straightforward. We give a date and a time, a location, a venue, a registration period, and a contact, and then you give a description down below. And the description can be really as detailed as you want it to be. Just make sure that it states what the event is and reiterates, where it is, when it is, and why you want to come. All right, so the last thing I think I'm going to talk about is, first off, I'm going to stop sharing my screen because this just looks crazy. There should be a stop share screen option down here. There we go. All right, so I've now stopped sharing my screen. And so I just wanted to end by talking a little bit about kind of how I've approached event determination and creation in the past. And that has been, I've more or less been under the working model that the more events we have, the better. So if we have any options or offers for events, like we had that Farouk Day event from the Stanford Club, if anybody wants to put on an event, even if it's just a quick get together at a sports bar to watch a basketball game or something like that, we do it. I think the more events we have, the better. It increases the number of people that might attend in total because it increases the number of possibilities, and also both in time and in interest, and also it lets anybody who wants to basically make this club their own or give something of themselves to the club. So I think the best events, if they're not just ones that are specifically aligned with Stanford, like going to a Stanford football game or the faculty speaker talk or something like that, are ones that come from the planner's personal interests. So if there's something that you're interested in, that you like, that you want to share with people, then I would encourage you to try and create an event around that. And every board member or most board members should hopefully try to create at least one event each year that reflects kind of what their interests are and what they like to do. So I've organized symphony trips in the past, or string quartets, or theater nights. Mary Jane has organized opera nights. We've had wine tastings that have been very successful. We've had hikes, and we've had nature hikes and geology hikes that I think have been really cool. And so really just, you don't have to go to every single event. Even if you're on the board, just try to go to them if you're interested, and try and go to them to support. But try to plan an event every year, at least one, I would say, that reflects kind of what you like and what you want to do. So with that, I just want to say thank you so much for joining me, and also I've loved being a member of this organization and this board for years, and being the president for the past 2 years. And I hope to remain involved if I come back to Utah, which I hope to do. So, are there any questions or comments before I say goodbye? All right. Thank you very much, and I will send out the recording of this. But have a great weekend and a great 17/18 with the Stanford Club of Utah. All right. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.